Hello and welcome to your yoga practice today. I'm Anne. I'm so happy to be here with you. Today's practice is going to focus on some stress relieving poses. So a great practice for trauma, anxiety, if you're feeling overwhelmed or tired, or if you just want to keep a good calm existence, this one's for you. So we're going to start on our mat in a seated meditation. You can see that I have a bolster with me today, a block, and a strap. So if you have those things handy, bring them over to your practice area and we can get started. All right, so come on in. We're here. We're grounded. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Connect your wrist to your knees. Touch your thumb to your index finger pad and just turn your palms to face down. As you sit up nice and tall, close your eyes and settle in. Just start to release your breath. Arriving fully to your practice. Really try to let go of any anticipation or judgment. The hardest part is making it to your mat, starting the video, so you are here. Start to pay attention to the breath, separating your teeth and just relaxing your jaw, softening the muscles in your face. If the ears and shoulders are kind of cramped up, relax the shoulder blades down the back, taking tension away from your chest. Just observing all the different things you can hear. Not attaching to anything you hear, but really realizing that the background to our practice is not necessarily going to be quiet. And that's okay. Deepening your breath. Let's take a really big breath in through the nose. And sigh it out through your mouth. And just feel the tension releasing from the body when you do that. Twice more. Deep breath in. And sigh it out. One more time, deep breath in. Now let's take the next deep breath and really shrug your shoulders up to your ears. So creating that tense feeling. And when you exhale, let the shoulders just drop down the back body. Two more like that. Deep breath in, shrug shoulders up. Just kind of feel the tension enter the body. And as you exhale, let it go. One more time. Inhale. And drop the shoulders down the back. Exhale. Nice work. We're just going to slowly let our right ear find our right shoulder. Your eyes can remain closed or gently blink open, whatever you're more comfortable with. Sometimes keeping the eyes open just feels more grounding. So if you need that today, honor it. And then lift your head up through center and let left ear come towards left shoulder. Just observing, is one side tighter than the other? And inhale, come to center and then drop your chin towards your chest. Keep the rest of your spine nice and long. And while you're there, open and close your mouth a few times, stretching the jaw out. Notice if you have any hitches in your jaw, maybe move the jaw side to side or the lower jaw. And then lift your chin slowly up through center. Let's switch the crossing of the legs. And I forgot to mention this, but you can always be sitting on your bolster. If you feel like your hips are too tight to sit on the ground like this, that is a really great place to be. Let's take peace fingers of our right hand and touch towards your third eye. This can be done with your eyes open or closed. You're going to use your thumb on the right side and your ring finger on the left to close the respective nostrils for alternate nostril breathing. This is a really good way to just calm and kind of regulate your system. So peace fingers at your third eye. Close off the right side, and you can use your opposite hand to open up the sinuses if you feel stuffed up today. Inhale through the left for 2, 3, 4. Hold both shut and pause. 2, 3, 4. Exhale right side. 2, 3, 4. Inhale right. Hold and pause. Exhale left. Beautiful. That's one round. We're doing 2 more. Inhale left. Pause. Hold both shut. Exhale right. Inhale right. Hold and pause. Exhale left. If you haven't already, close your eyes for this last round. Inhale left. Hold and pause. Exhale right side. Inhale right. Hold, pause. Exhale left. Let your hands just rest in your lap. Take it in for a moment. I immediately feel calmer. I hope you do too. Let's slowly straddle the legs here. And your straddle might be big, it might be small. And we're going to fold through center, and you might use a prop here if you like. So I'm going to take my block, you don't have to, and place it just in front of me, just knowing that I'm going to place my forehead to the block. So sit up nice and tall, and then slowly fold forward. And if you have your block, for me, a nice thing is to have my forearms on the ground and my forehead on a block. You can also use your bolster or use nothing. And if you don't have any props, you can still do this practice. We're just breathing. Try turning your palms up if you can, depending on your position, relaxing your hands. And just feeling the back side of your body open up, the hamstrings open up. Try to release any tension if it's building around your neck and shoulders. And focusing your breath in and out through your nose now. Constricting in the back of the throat just enough so you can hear this whisper of H-A, ha sound. Letting any stress peel off your body. Feeling grounding through whatever's touching the earth. You can picture just with every exhale releasing just a little bit of tension from your body. Every exhale is the opportunity to let go, to surrender. And we might have come to this practice today just to try it, or maybe you know that it helps to relieve stress. Maybe you're carrying a really heavy weight on your shoulders. So whatever your reason is, try to just let go here. 3 more breaths. And slowly come on up. Move your prop off to the side if you're using it. And make your way into child's pose. So we'll come to our knees. Sending our hips back towards our heels. Big toes touch, knees slightly separated, hands reaching out in front of you, spreading your fingers and connecting your third eye or forehead to the earth, and allowing yourself to melt down here. Every inhale goes into your back body, feeling your rib cage expand and contract with your exhale. Taking a moment here to release any mental tension down into the earth. So as if your third eye or your forehead could open up and you could just release the thoughts in your mind that don't serve your practice, don't serve your life today. If there's any sorrow or heaviness you're carrying around, see if you can just visualize it leaving your body. And as you dump it into the earth, understanding the earth can handle anything that's not working for you. It's going to recycle that energy and turn it into something beautiful, a beautiful flower, food for animals, a new tree, grasses, whatever it might be. Take 3 more full deep breaths here. I love this pose just when I'm feeling tired, stressed. It feels comforting. We'll do a little side body stretch here. So you're going to lift up and really draw your knees closer together. The hands will walk to the right. The right hand is on bottom, maybe even off your mat. The left hand on top. Spread your fingers, lengthen your arms, and then let your hips pull back towards the left. And just feel your side opening up. This beautiful side stretch. Spine has this little C curve in it. And then walk your hands over to the left and just do the same thing, but on the other side. So the left hand will be on the bottom and your right hand will be on top. You're stretching your arms, and then let your hips just kind of fall back into the right a little bit. Sometimes when we're feeling really heavy or high anxiety, it feels hard to show up to a practice like this. So I hope that you can feel surrounded by love, and also just the little bit of a break from whatever you're going through can be really restorative, restoring your energy. Walk your hands back to center, migrate up onto your hands and your knees. Hands are below your shoulders, knees are below your hips. And I just want you to start organically moving here. So it could be like a little wag, or maybe it's a cat-cow. You're just opening up, following your intuition. Feeling a little bit more of that organic movement, hip circles if you like. If you're not sure what to do, just listen to your body. What does it need? And so if you came back to this practice day after day, this movement would look different because your body's going to need different things. Close your eyes and really move like nobody's watching. Just following what your body needs. Take about 5 more breaths here. Do a couple traditional cat-cows if you haven't had a chance to do that yet. Just really feel the spine release tension. Let's make our way into a neutral space in our spine. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, and find a down dog. And when you get there, pedal the legs so you bend one knee and then the next. Just shift side to side. Beautiful. Let both heels get heavy. Spread your fingers, spread your toes. Little slight bend in your knees. Try to flatten out your back. Look back between your big toes and pick something that's not moving with your eyes, and just hold your eyes still and steady on that one little spot for a moment. With your eyes really still, come back to your breath and deepen your breath. When we hold a pose, lots of different stages of holding. At first, we're not maybe sure about the pose. Then we get more comfortable. Then we can really be in the pose, holding it, but let our minds release the effort. Walk your hands slowly back to your feet. Take a forward fold at the back of your mat. Knees are bent as much as you need. Your belly connects to your upper thighs. Head hangs heavy, and reach across for opposite elbows. Gently sway, slow, 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 side to side. Good. Switch which form is on top. Let the weight of your head get heavier as your neck releases any tightness. Your upper back is stretching out. Then let your hands get heavy and wiggle your feet out wider than your hips. Your toes will turn to the sides, heels turn in, and you'll squat down. And if you need it, you can place your sitting bones on something like a cushion or a block or pillow if you have that. So since mine is here, I'm going to use it today. Bring your hands to your heart, elbows pressed towards inner knees, and I want you to just slowly circle your head around. Go one direction and then the other. I just had a really nice little pop happen, so that's common. And then pick a stretch here with the neck. So find a spot that needs extra love and just pause in that place and take about 5 breaths there. Move and find another place where your neck needs a little bit more release. I have like 20 I want to use, but find one. And again, take a few breaths into that space. Just letting your breath help melt tension out of your body. And then move your chin back towards a neutral place. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, hands release down to the earth. You'll tilt your hips up, turn your feet forward, match the outer edges of your feet up with the outer edges of your mat, and then do a shorter down dog. So your hands stop about a hand or 2 hands lengths shorter than a regular down dog. And for a lot of us, the heels will be connected to the ground, so you get a lot more of a lower back release here. And I want you to just wag your hips really gently side to side. And for me, because my hamstrings are really tight today, this feels like a really good hamstring stretch as well. Spend a couple more breaths here. Just asking our body from the movement to let go of any tightness we have in our lower back. Your breath is deep, your movement is slow, just nurturing any tension inside of your mind, emotional stress. Good, and then slowly let your knees come down towards the mat. Okay, our hands are back under our shoulders. Point your toes back. With your inhale, sweep your left hand up to the sky. Just twisting your body a little bit here. Good. Exhale, hand comes back down. Switching sides. Inhale, right hand sweeps up. Chest is opening. That feels so good in my back. And then exhale, hand to the mat. We do that again. Left hand lifts, inhale. And exhale back down. Right hand lifts. Exhale to the earth. One more time each side. Inhale, left arm lifts. And exhale. Good. Right hand lifts. And exhale. Good. We're going to take a little heart opener here. So you can simply do this with your elbows down on the earth. I'm going to show you a version where I'm using my bolster, okay? So If you don't have any cushion or blocks, you can use blocks as well. You can just place your elbows directly onto the ground. So the elbows are going to come onto my bolster, my palms come together in prayer, and then I'm going to walk my knees back a little bit so I can melt my heart down towards the ground and get a really nice upper back release here. So I feel a little bit of my forehead resting on the bolster, which feels really nice. Your head can also hang between the arms, so just adjusting yourself so it feels good. Once you find a good heart space here, the hands can point up towards the sky or kind of back behind the head. Breathe into any tension in your shoulders or your upper back, just slowly releasing with every exhale. This is a really nice heart opener. So if you've been feeling that heaviness on your chest, that anxiety feeling, trying to just relax into the stretch, letting any jitters peel off the body. I just recently, about 2 weeks ago, went through this period where I was feeling such physical anxiety. And all of these things that we're doing today are poses that I brought into my practice to try to calm things down. I always find that in those times, the hardest part is getting to your mat. So if you can just get to your mat, the rest will work its magic. So if you're there today, you're feeling that anxiety, I've been there. I know exactly what that feels like. It's very unsettling and stressful. Just know I'm here to support you, what you need. Let's take about 3 more breaths here. Beautiful. To safely come out, press into the elbows. You'll bring your knees in and together, and then bring your arms alongside your hips and bow into a little rounded child's pose. Let the heads of your shoulders just get heavy to the ground and take a couple rounds of breath. And then slowly peel up onto your knees. We are going to take a pigeon stretch today. If this doesn't work in your knees, you can head to your back for thread the eye of the needle. I'm going to show you that thread the eye of the needle first, just in case you know that you're going to need it. So the right ankle will cross over left thigh and hands will interweave behind the belly of the left hamstring. Okay? For the rest of us, have your props up towards the front of your mat. Step into a downward facing dog to get started. Let's take our right leg to the sky, bend your right knee and open up through your right hip. And exhale, bring your right knee behind your right wrist, foot over towards the left. Inch back through your left knee. And a few things you can do here. So you can support your hip with a block underneath the right sitting bone if you need that support. And I really like laying down on my bolster. I usually angle it here. It's going to be different for everybody's body. And you're allowing your chest to rest down onto the bolster, head rests down, and you can simply close your eyes and enjoy, okay? Some of us are really tight in the hips, so it's hard to relax. So make yourself as cozy as possible so you can just let your body start to settle and de-stress. Make sure wherever your hands are, they're relaxed. You're not gripping your fingers. Close your eyes or just soften your gaze. Separate your teeth. Take the tension away from your neck and shoulders. And breathe. The hips store a lot of our emotions. It's often that this pose can bring tears to your eyes. So if that happens, don't stuff it back down. Just let it pour out. I promise you'll feel better after you have that release. Now, if you're one who's never had the tears come, don't be like, what's wrong with me? Why aren't the tears coming? Just breathe into, again, just the release of any stress that you're carrying around, any worries. mental tension or that physical anxiety, sometimes we don't know where that comes from or why we get it. But this practice can just help you manage it. Some of you guys don't know this about me, but I am almost at my 2-year anniversary. I have just over a month to go. 2-year anniversary of having open heart surgery. And short story, I got sick with endocarditis, which is when you have a bacterial infection and it gets into your bloodstream. And so, I was sick with like a cold and I didn't really know what was going on. And it turns out that I had developed endocarditis, which means that the bacteria forms a mass, and mine was a mass on my aortic valve. And it got to the place where my valve was no longer working. So I had to have that kind of in an emergency style replaced. There wasn't much time there weren't many options. I tried antibiotics for a couple days, but that was not working. So it was kind of like all right, you're having the surgery and there's really no other choice. And, going through something like that can be so stressful, and then relearning how to live your life. And, I've been teaching yoga since 2009, so 15 years. And, it came as a shock to me. It came as the shock, and now my body is different. I move differently. I feel things differently, and I have different anxieties I never had before. I'm happy to be back teaching with you guys and learning and really sharing different things than maybe if you took my class 10 years ago that I would have shared. So I just want to share that story just to let you know I'm with you. If you're going through something big, I've been there, I'm still there, I guess, and learning how to manage it. Let's switch sides. So if you're in your back, just simply switch. If you're in pigeon, go back into down dog and shake it out. And I really shared that story because I was laying my head on the pillow and I could hear my heart ticking, and now it ticks like a clock in my chest. When you're ready, switch sides and take your left leg to the sky, bend your left knee, open your hip up, and then bringing your knee behind the left wrist, foot heading over towards the right, inching the right knee back. Make sure you're squared off and get your props in line. They might have to be different. This is a tighter or looser side. And when you're ready, come on down and find your resting stretch. Find your way into that tense-free space. Hands are relaxed, jaws relaxed, neck and shoulders. Maybe the eyes are closed. And so when I lay my head on the pillow and I can hear it sometimes when it's quiet without my ears being covered. But when my ears are hitting the pillow, that's really when I can hear the tick of my heart. And before I had the surgery, I went on some blogs. I had 48 hours before I knew I was having surgery, so there wasn't much time, but a lot of people said that ticking is really stressful, causes anxiety. Especially, I was somebody who couldn't sleep with a clock or a traditional clock in the room. I couldn't sleep with that ticking, but now I have it with me at all times. And I've chosen to think about that ticking as a reminder that I'm still here and I'm lucky. I'm one of the lucky ones, instead of, oh, it's so stressful because I can hear that. And what a gift that we have the technology to put a mechanical valve in place of our valve in our heart that really is the controller of us living, right? When that heart decides to stop or can't do what it needs to do properly, it's lights out. So I am just so grateful every single day that I get the opportunity to be here with you guys. and share what I've learned and learn from you. So please do share with me any struggles you're going through. I want to hear. Share your story. Oh, last few breaths here. Just enjoying the time where we get to be still. We get to think about the things going on in our lives. Or maybe you're just with your breath and you're choosing to keep your mind clear. And there's no right or wrong way to practice. Last few breaths. All right, we're going to release this second side. I'm going to encourage you, if you are in pigeon, to go back to down dog and kind of shake out your left leg just to release any tightness. Oh my goodness. And we'll make our way down into a seated space. We're going to come down onto our back. So if you have your bolster, you can place it at the end of your mat and maybe use it as a pillow, maybe not. And if you have a strap, we'll use a strap. If you don't have the strap, let me show you where we're going first. So, that feels pretty good. Head on bolster. If you don't have a strap, you're reaching your right leg to the sky. Left leg lengthens or knee bends. Hands interweave behind the belly of the hamstring, behind the leg, and you're reaching up through your heel. So you're here. Okay, if you have a strap, go ahead and take the strap around the ball of your right foot. Make sure the buckle isn't behind your head. And I have a loop in my strap. So if you haven't done the loop, do that now. And I'm going to move that bolster out of my way. So you can do this a few different ways. You can hold the strap in your hands. You can weave your arms through the strap, palms together, and use the weight of your arms to hold your leg up. That's a little bit more relaxing because you're not tensing your hands. And the third option is to take the strap behind the back of the head. It goes above your ears on your skull, and you're resting in hammock stretch. This is my absolute favorite hamstring stretch. You have the ability to massage the back of your leg here with your fingers. So go ahead and pick your poison. And you might be asking, how do I know how big to make my loop? Well, you'll figure it out because when you get into the sweet spot, the head is not trying to lift and the leg is not trying to pull. They're just weighted off of each other, and you can simply just close your eyes and be still here. I don't know what I did to my hamstrings, but man, are they tight. It's funny because I had no idea how tight they were before I came to my practice. But I sure am happy that we're going to get some relief from this practice. Check in. Are you tensing anywhere? Your hands, your face? When you stretch your hamstrings, it releases a lot of tension off the lower back. So right now, you shouldn't have your butt lifted. Sometimes I see people like pushing and lifting their butt. You just, whole back is relaxed. Let's take about, 8 more breaths here. The last couple breaths, if you're in the hands-free version, take your right thumb into your right hip crease and kind of move the flesh of your right hip away from your shoulder so you're getting a little deeper stretch for the last 3 breaths or so. Then you'll slowly, if the strap's behind your head, remove that. And just before we switch sides, stretch both legs out and just observe, the 2 sides of your body. Feeling longer on the right, hopefully. Do you feel that? It's pretty awesome. Switch and go to the same version you just did on the second leg. So whatever if you used a strap, use a strap again. If you didn't, don't. Do the same version and get right into it. Going into the place of finding balance in the body. Some of us have had an injury or a handful of injuries, maybe in a shoulder, a knee, a hip, your back. So we want to bring the 2 sides of the body back to a place of feeling equal with each other. And so we try our best to do the same version of the pose on each side so we can kind of slowly bring, our healing to this balance of right and left. I had a teacher that once said, if you don't do everything on both sides, then you're going to be walking out of here in circles, which I always laugh at that because I am really focused on being equal on both sides of my body. And you might have like a injury in your right foot, but feel it on the upper left side of your back, so you just want to find that equalness so everything can just be working as best as it possibly can. Nothing's going to be perfect. We're not working towards feeling perfect, but maybe just perfect for you. Our bodies are different from each other, so we practice this practice without judgment. We might not be able to do everything because, the way our body is shaped or from a previous injury, so we do our best, but we still show up for ourselves. Now, if you have hammock stretch going and you want to, take your left thumb into your left hip crease for these last few breaths and just really feel the flesh of your left hip reach away from your left shoulder, kind of just getting that almost this like tiny bit of external rotation in the hip. We're going to come on out of this stretch. If you have your strap, just place it off to the side so it's out of your way. And again, just come back onto your back and just feel the release in your spine. All right, we'll head into a 2-knee twist. You can easily do this without any props, but I like to show you a little restorative way with one of your blocks. So if you have a block, feel free to join me. You'll place the block between your thighs. Let your knees drift over towards the left side of your mat and cactus through your right arm. If cactus doesn't work in your shoulder, just stretch your right arm out with your palm up. Allowing yourself to just release the effort. Let the twist take over. Trying our best to keep our right shoulder anchored to the earth. Okay, if it feels good, you'll look to the right like I am. If that feels like too much, just look towards the ceiling. It will be a lot more neutral for your neck. Twisting helps tell our body to let go. So close your eyes and think about something that you're willing to let go of today. Beautiful. Use a little bit of your core to help the knees come back to center so you're not using your back. And gently let your knees drift towards the right. Left arm cactuses or stretches out, palms up. And if it feels okay in the neck, let your eyes and your gaze go towards the left. Feel a release of your spine. Drawing the left shoulder down towards the earth even more. Deepen your breath. Send your breath through all the twists and turns in your body. And again, with every exhale, thinking, let go. Maybe there's something specific you can focus on. Good. Inhale, bring your knees to center. Use your core again. Take your block into one of your hands. You're going to bring your feet to the ground. If you don't have a block, you can use a bolster for this or simply do it without. So we're going to lift ourselves up into bridge pose. And if you have no props, you're just holding your bridge here. If you do have a block, consider taking it. I'm going to take mine at the highest level. Underneath my tailbone, you might have to come down a notch if you're feeling like that's too intense. And we're just feeling this help of opening up the front body here. So you can simply do this just active, keeping your hips lifted. We'll pause and breathe here. Even if you're using a block, I don't want you to completely let go of the effort, okay? So the backs of your arms are pressing down. Your shoulders are staying anchored. There's a little bit of pressure in your feet, so we're not just like completely being like loosey-goosey here on the block, okay? Now, if you don't have a prop, you're going to lower your hips to the ground for this next part. If you're unsure about your balance up at this highest level, lower it down a notch and then pick your feet up towards the sky. So no props, then you're just doing this with your tailbone on the ground. Your feet are going up to the sky and you're in a supported shoulder stand or just feet straight up. Letting any tension in your ankles, your feet dissolve. This is amazing pose if you've been traveling a lot, if you're working on your feet or you're on your feet just in general a lot. The legs aren't tight here, they're soft. The feet are relaxed. Maybe just wiggle your toes if you're feeling like you're tensing at all. Amazing reset for our circulatory system. And listen right now. Can you hear your own heartbeat? Can you tune in enough that you can feel that rhythm, your rhythm? Being grateful for the way our body works without us even having to tell it to do anything. And in gratitude for this amazing vessel that we live within. We get so hyper-focused on what we look like, what we're supposed to be looking like. If we could just let all of that go, what does that feel like? To have that deep-rooted gratitude for the physical body, the vessel. We only get one shot at this. Well, who knows, maybe we get more than one, but this lifetime we have one body. So we need to treat it with kindness and compassion. Good. Slow and steady, bend your knees. If you're up on your block, just move slow. I like to bring one foot down, then the next. If you're on a block, you'll take your block and move it off to the side. All right, bring your knees into your chest, widen your knees and just kind of rock them side to side here. And then you'll take your hands on your knees and make circles in one direction. Good. Go in the opposite direction. Good. Pause. Take your knees in opposite directions. So go in and out first and around. Just feel your hips loosening. and then go in the opposite direction. Beautiful. We'll take one more stretch here. So you're going to bring your feet together and open your knees out to the sides. You might need something underneath the knees like 2 blocks. You also might choose to lay back on your bolster. Let me show you what that looks like just in case you want to try it. If you have a bolster and you're not really sure how to use it, this is a great pose. This will give you a little different sensation. So easily, again, if you don't have a bolster, you can do this flat on your back. Otherwise, bolster is a little bit away. This is a giant bolster, so it's a little bit away from my tailbone because my lower back needs that space. So I'm laying back on it. Hands can come out to the sides, palms turn up, or simply bring your hands to rest them on your belly. Close your eyes and just breathe here. Feeling the hips gently open, feeling a sense of being grounded. Okay, as we spend this final pose on our back, just feel the support that the earth is providing you from below. And sometimes when we're feeling like the world is swirling around us, we're feeling heavy in our chest, we feel like nobody understands us. It's a good reminder to know that you do have that earthly support. So just experience it. I like to close my eyes and feel like I'm laying in the hands of the earth. See if you can visualize what that might be for you. And really think, are you living your truth right now? Are you communicating in a way that feels good for you? Or is there something that we can shift? Are you at a crossroads? Choosing the path that is going to be best for us is so hard sometimes to understand. So really sit with that, and the answer will come. For the last couple breaths here, take your arms above your head and either just stretch them out or grab opposite elbows. Feel your whole body open. Feeling receptive to positive energy. This last little bit I've recognized really works for me, and I want to share it with you. It might seem a little weird, okay? So you're going to take your index finger just in your ear, and really I'm grabbing like my lower earlobe, okay? The finger kind of tucks into your ear. And so once you've kind of tucked it in, I want you to pull down and then out. Okay, so you should be able to hear still. You know, you're pushing your finger down and then pulling out a little bit. And just create some space. You have your vagus nerve there. This is really helpful for me when I'm feeling stressed, or I feel like I can't fall asleep, or I feel like I just have like that feeling that I need to release some pressure, that anxiety feeling. So pause with this for a couple breaths. I feel this instant relief. I don't know about you, but I would love to hear in the comments if you felt something with this little trick of mine. And I found this because my massage therapist did this to me once, and I was like, whoa, what is happening? And then I did a little research, and it's kind of a known release point for the vagus nerve to release anxiety, and just works for me. So I hope it works for you. When you're ready to let that go, just let it go. Reach down, scoop your knees together. If you're on your bolster, come on off of it. And I'll offer you one more use of your bolster if you like it. So you'll bring it below the backs of your legs, just drift your knees over the top of it, and come back down onto your back. Okay, take your feet and stretch your arms. Just do the biggest stretch you've ever done in your whole life. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then soften. Hands can come out to the sides, palms up, or rest back on your body. I really feel like resting one hand on my belly and one on my chest is my go-to pose. When I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't sleep, this is where I find my hands to settle my system. Take one more really big breath in. Sigh it out. Let yourself find Shavasana. Feel your whole body release effort. Close your eyes. And just be. Let go of your breathing. Let your mind rest. We are looking to create space between our thoughts until we can be here awake with no thought at all. This lucid, dreaming sensation where we just are. And this is where I'm going to leave you today. I want you to spend as much time as you have in your Shavasana. If you have 10 minutes, please take 10. And I thank you so much for showing up with me today and being on this journey and letting me share a little bit of my journey. And so I leave you with Namaste, which means may the divine in me greet and honor the divine in you. I'll see you real soon. Again, I'm Anne. Don't forget to hit the subscribe at the end of this video if you liked, and can't wait to hear in the comments how you feel. See you real soon. Namaste.